At 52.
The benefit of being disorganized. Hello and welcome to the Pink Hair Girl podcast. My name is Sally Jane and this is Rachel. And it is the 2nd of November.
No.
We're in November.
Yes.
I can't believe it. It feels like the other day was about June.
Yeah.
And now it's November. It's ridiculous. It's only a few weeks left of school.
Probably about August.
It feels like August.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think my brain's much past July or June even. Anyway, but here we are, trucking along until it's Christmas, yeah. So I am desperately trying to finish all the things that I need to finish in time for the end of the year. I feel like I'm just head down and toe pathing along through everything. It's just, yeah. It's a lot of knitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today, I have a rather interesting thing I wanted to talk to you about. I was going to do a Periscope on it on Friday, and I might still a bit later today, which means that in the time frame of things, that the Periscope will probably come out before the podcast, although I'm having this conversation with you now before I'm going to have that one. But anyway, I've been thinking about... This is going to sound very weird, but you're going to know this because it's going to have been the title of the episode. I've been thinking about the benefits, I don't know if that's the right word though, of being disorganized. Is your mother weird?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, I've been thinking lately, there's a lot of stuff around about being organized and about having lists and about having goals and plans and weekly planners and schedules and meal plans and like there are so many. I have bought weekly planners and I have bought diaries that I never write in, and I have bought all of these sorts of things in an attempt to be organized like the world seems to think that one should be organized. Like the pinnacle or the ultimate seems to be organized, like, and to be like a superhero with all these planners and to have every meal planned and every event planned and every minute of your day planned and the time is allocated and I know for some people that makes them really productive. I am not that kind of person at all. I'm not a structured person. I didn't do routines with my children. They didn't have to eat at a certain time and sleep. Well, look, there were rough guidelines, and my children are in bed roundabout at bedtime, and I'm not totally without boundaries that they can go to bed whatever time of night they like. I mean, everybody's mostly in bed and lights out by about 8:30, 9. 9 o'clock is the latest for Rachel. Obviously, the boys are a lot earlier, but I didn't do it. They had to nap at a certain time. They had to eat at a certain time. They had to, if they slept late, you'd wake them up and stuff. I let the sleeping babies lie. So I was never a very routine person, and I don't use a routine curriculum for school homeschooling either. I mean, we do unschooling, well, sort of unschooling. And what got me thinking about this was sort of the pressure both that I felt from watching a lot of, and it happens to be Periscopes that I was watching. And I know it's kind of motivational stuff and, what are your daily goals and let's look at this week. And I'm not knocking people that are doing that. But every time, almost when I see the headings of those Periscopes, I avoid them. I don't even want to watch them because I feel like I'm again going to feel like a failure because I don't have a journal and I don't have daily goals and I don't have plans in that kind of structured way. You're not like that either, are you?
I would actually like that.
No, Rachel's more planned than me. Like that, she likes to know what's happening for the day and likes to have a plan and stuff. But you're not very good at totally sticking to. You also can say, for example, we've got to do 5 maths exercises a day or something else. You're also willing to be relaxed and do something else rather than, or is that just procrastination trying to get out of your maths?
Yeah.
And I know the danger of not being organized is that you do procrastinate and you don't get anything done. I don't know. I just seem to be fighting against this being organized. I'm never going to have meal plans. I'm never going to have a freezer full of frozen food. I'm never going to know what I'm cooking every single day in advance and shop only for that and write lists. I tried. Every time I think I'm going to be more organized, I'm going to fill the freezer, I'm going to know what we're eating beforehand. It just doesn't work. I've decided to stop fighting against it. It's not me. I mean, me being organized is to plan in the morning what we might eat in the evening. There comes many a times when it's 4, 5 o'clock in the evening and I'm only then deciding what we're eating. And sure, it means that you kind of last minute, you slapdash everything together. But we always eat. And we don't starve, and we're pretty healthy, and I make most meals from scratch, and we don't eat takeaways, and I think we do all right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I just look at nature. I just look at the way, we plant in rows, we plant with spaces in between, but nature doesn't grow like that.
But rows make it so you can see.
Yes, I know, but nature is more chaos. Nature's a lot more chaotic and less structured in the way things happen. Things happen seasonally and things happen on a time scale, but it doesn't seem to be so rigid. It just needs to a little bit more go with the flow kind of thing.
But animals aren't as clever as us, and they don't have plans and set things. So set things must make you more organized.
Do you think so? Do you think set things and goals make you cleverer?
Mm-hmm.
Higher intelligence. Maybe that's your mother's problem. I don't know. I just, and I was Googling, I was thinking, is there a person, and I know being organized for some people is better, but is there a personality type that does better not being as organized, that does better being a little bit more relaxed about things? And I mean, look, I have passed university, I have written exams, I know how to do things to a deadline, I've done postgraduate studies, I've written a book, I managed to get all the patterns done and published and edited. Did I ever have a timeline for it? No. And I found people to work with that didn't mind that when I sent something for tech editing, that was when I sent it. And I understood in the same token that because I didn't always give warnings as that I need you to schedule in 3 o'clock on Thursday, that if I sent it to somebody, they may need to fit it in the next 2 weeks. And I was okay with that because I left enough time that if you're editing this pattern, I'm working on this one, and it won't matter when you fit that one into your 2 weeks. And I know many people can't work like that. And the same with the layout. I would send the patterns to Laura, who was doing the layout, when I had finished that particular pattern and send it through to her, and then she would just fit it in. And then she'd say, okay, we're missing these and these gaps or whatever. And she would just use her time schedule when she could work on it, and I would use mine when I could work on it. And there wasn't, because it was self-published, again, it was slightly different. I could set whatever deadlines and goals I wanted, which worked for me. And I realized, obviously, if you're publishing for a magazine, you've probably got very different deadlines, which I think might be one of the reasons I don't like that extra, being a homeschooling mom and having 3 kids and designing and stuff. It can't be something overly pressurized. I can't have to put off doing something for them because I have this hectic knitting deadline and I don't want it to feel like to them I'm pushing them away because I need to knit, or which I think there were times with the book where it felt like I needed to get stuff done. But have you ever felt hectic pressure because I'm knitting something, besides when I've left the deadline for a gift too late?
You have pressurized me to finish a knitting thing.
Is it pressurized you? But have you ever felt like I'm under far too much pressure?
Yes.
Is it? But that's just because I'm leaving presents till the last minute.
You left
not really designing.
You left a whole toy and started it
You said I didn't. No, you said I didn't leave it till the last minute. I decided the evening before. So it's because of these stupid ideas I get in my head. And it isn't that I leave things to the last minute. It's that I'm doing so many things that I have very little time. It's not like I'm sitting around doing nothing and then I suddenly think, okay, I'm going to knit something for so and so. I mean, everything I finish, I start the next thing. And it's normally, I did my sister's Bonnie, and I had 2 things that I had to send to England, and I had, actually no, I had, and we'll talk about it in the finished objects, all the stuff that I can now tell you about that I did before. And I did each one after the other, and did the next one. It wasn't, I don't leave it till the last minute. It just, I think I probably take on a bit more than I should. I think I can.
One project.
What?
You should do one project.
I do generally try to finish one thing. I might have a few things cast on, but I'm generally working mostly on one.
I'm not that
on
good.
One thing. You don't have one at the moment.
But I have a thing that I spin on one day and this on the other.
Yeah. So, and I googled this thing about, is there any advantages to being disorganized? And all sites I found, like, they were very much from organized people, sort of saying, well, there might be some benefit to being disorganized, but their idea of being disorganized was chaos and messy. Now, don't misunderstand me. I don't like chaos, and I don't like it to be messy. And I think everybody needs a certain amount of structure in which to function. And Titus gets to school on time mostly, and we do things that need to in life be done to a certain schedule. And of course, there's a schedule for life. But I know that because I'm not the tidiest person, I don't spend all my time cleaning, I need to have less stuff. And the most amazing book, and I have mentioned it before, is the one by Marie Kondo, and it's called The Magical Art of Tidying Up, or something like that.
Where you make us throw away all
our
things.
We make you throw away all your things. Basically, her thing is that you cannot organize chaos. You cannot organize too much stuff. And all those things that make you look like beautiful things on Pinterest or IKEA, all of these that say that the key to being organized is more storage. So the key to being organized is not more storage. The key to being organized is less stuff. And actually, I ended up in with too much storage containers because we got rid of half the stuff. And you need about, I think we threw away about
We didn't throw it away.
We didn't throw it away. That's very true. We donated a lot of it. About 2/3 of what we had, we just got rid of. And this year has been much easier to cope with the amount of stuff we've had. I mean, sure, there's still stuff that lands up lying around, but it is about half an hour. You can quickly whiz around, put everything back in the place it should be, and then it's done. Whereas before, there were just mountains of like, we had this room, an entire room that you couldn't even open the door because people would be coming around, there'd be stuff lying around, so just gather it all up and throw it in the room and close the door. And it got to the point where you couldn't even open the door. And now we don't have a room like that anymore. We don't
have
Tyson's room. Yeah, we don't have a room that's just floor to ceiling of rubbish anymore.
There's the washing room.
Yeah, but it's just got laundry in it.
It's just got washing lines.
And I'm not very good at folding the laundry.
No,
so
if you pile it.
So I mean, sure, there's piles of washing, and I'm still not organized with doing it, but it's in a specific place, and we even thinned down the amounts of clothes and stuff we had. So I don't know. Anyway, so these things that did this idea of, was there a benefit to being disorganized? The one woman sort of veiled it, and she said, well, maybe there's the benefit to finding stuff, like the excitement of finding something that has been so hidden that you couldn't find it before. Or, like, it's so messy when you find something, it feels like an adventure. So that was very much veiled as this is not a good thing. And then she said, you'd spend less time tidying up, but then she said, but you'd spend so much more time later on because you could never find anything. And so it was all of this, well, it could be like this, but actually it's a really bad thing, and how to be more organized. So I think if you aren't an organized person, like I am, have less stuff. That's like the number one thing. And the other thing is that, sure, there are society things that you need to get done, but I think there is a process for being a little bit more freedom, just allowing things and stuff in your day to happen as it should, and not to be so stressed. I tend to have like one goal to get done for the day, and then I can feel like a hero when I get one thing done. I've tried writing lists, I've tried writing goals, I've tried ticking them off, I've tried to do that. I think this started out by trying to be this started out with trying to be a bullet journal, I think. Yeah, look, there's the tasks, and there was the days, and then you were supposed to tick. Look how many I ticked off. Wrote this whole long list, and I ticked off like 3 things. And then you were supposed to circle things and set up. I spent more time trying to set up this bullet journal, and then it eventually became my podcasting notes book. I was no good at doing a bullet journal. And I know some people are, and it really helps them. It's just not for me. And I think what I want to voice is that for those people that are like me, that don't like daily planners, that make the meals at the end of the day, that take on too many projects because you kind of, that's what you do, and that are a little bit more relaxed in the way you do things, that's okay. Please don't feel bad by all the things around that tell you need to be organized. Find what works for you. And if you do find that writing down a daily goal does help because otherwise you get nothing done, then do that. But don't feel enslaved to the popular idea that you have to be regimentally organized. And I suppose with our unschooling, it also was sort of highlighted to me, and that I've spoken to 2 friends recently that have felt overwhelming pressure to homeschool by a very regimented, strict way, although their personalities and that of their children may not necessarily be like that. There are many people who do homeschool to a curriculum, and that's what works for them. And I think in all of this, that's the overall idea. I'm not asking everybody to be disorganized. I'm certainly not asking everybody to unschool. Find what works for you. Find your rhythm and how you do things, because I think that's the way you're going to be successful in it. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting against doing it in somebody else's method. And now I'm just making peace with not watching those periscopes all about planning your whole life and feeling okay about that. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear, are you an organizer? Do you need everything done and organized every day? Do you need goals? Otherwise, you never get anywhere. Or are you a bit more like me, sort of fly by the seat of your pants? And
I'm organized.
I think my mother's very organized. My mother had freezers full of meals and knew in the morning what was being. She would never have started trying to figure out what to cook at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. She was always done, and the food was cooked during the day, and everything was, all the food was always hot and all done at the same time. And so I don't know where I get my
Not even from Grandpa. Grandpa's even more organized.
Grandpa, I don't know where I get it. I'm also slightly I don't like using labels. I mean, I've never been diagnosed and I have no idea, but I have a slightly more ADD personality, and that I have 1,000 tabs open at once and I flip from one thing to the other, and I find it very difficult to concentrate on only one thing at a time. I do get everything done in the end. I don't know if it's the most efficient way ever, but it doesn't matter. This suits me. This makes me more relaxed. Otherwise, I keep on feeling like I am a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. And that's what I like about unschooling. It's what I like about working for myself, is that I get to set the goals. I get to set the way I do it, and I just got to make sure we achieve something. My children can all read. Well, I mean, Titus doesn't read yet, but I mean, you can read, can't
yes.
you? And you can do math.
Yes.
And you've got a pretty good general knowledge. You taught yourself to spin. She taught herself to crochet. She runs charity projects. I don't think for our lack of structure. I mean, you got your Leaping Wolf. Oh, you got your award.
Oh, yes.
We haven't shown your award. We didn't podcast last week, but last week on Friday, Rachel got her Cub Award. They have the end of the year of Cubs is now, and then they hand out the awards, and she's now moved on to Scouts. And so she got her Leaping Wolf handed over. We talked about that before that she did, which is the highest award for Cub Scouting. And then she actually got a trophy for Cub of the Year. Yes. She got the Cub of the Year trophy this year, so that's quite exciting. What are you doing? Oh, getting your blanket ready to do.
And adding in my stitch marker. Then I have a row amount of stitch markers.
So yeah, I've rambled on a long time about that. So let's get on to some things. Caleb's in the UK. He comes back on Wednesday. So next podcast we should have a lot of nice things to show for all the stuff that's come back from the UK.
Caleb will probably be back when this goes up.
Yeah, he probably will. The other thing is, let's talk about some finished objects. I can put the little insert in that I spoke about, the hat that I was knitting, because that has gone to its recipient already. So the first one is I have Knit Monkey, Dave's Knits, for the FO and Die magic swap. So you had to knit or you had to make something and then put some other things in the parcel. And because it's magic, and it was supposed to only be like, what's the word? Good magic. It wasn't supposed to be sort of dark and evil and things like that. I didn't know what to do. It was sort of like a male theme. So Emma suggested Gandalf the Grey. So I've gone with a Gandalf the Grey theme. And the project I did or made was a hat. And this is I've done a plain grey on the bottom. This is a Nurturing Fibers grey called Stope on the bottom there. And then this in between is also Nurturing Fibers. It was called Steampunk. And it's a self-striping. It doesn't have nylon in there, so I couldn't do it for socks. And this is a chevron pattern. This is from my Cape Point pattern. But instead of changing the colors like the Cape Point does the various blues, I just use a self-striping yarn. And so it obviously did its stripes as you went along. So it's got some brown, some grey and steely blue, and up again. And then I did the top part again in the grey. It's not, and it's got a star pointy crease Oh, it's hard to show. It's not blocked yet, but the knitting is finished. So that was one of my other finished objects, and that's for Dave Knit Monkey. And I've got some other things for his parcel that I'll put together and maybe show you in the next week. You'll see me in different outfits as I record the bits when I'm finished doing them. And then I'm making little elephants for each of his girls. I'm making a little project bag with Tinkerbell fairies on, and then each of the girls will get a little elephant. He just needs his eyes. So this is my one finished elephant, and this is so this is my pattern from my Mzansi book called Cape Point. So these are both South African patterns, and this is from Linda, Mama for Earth, and it's her little elephant pattern. So there's the number 1 elephant, and the other one I'm doing 2, and then I've got another one I still need to do. So 3 little elephants that I'm busy knitting. So those are my secret knitting at the moment that I haven't been able to show. And I know my sister doesn't watch the podcast, so I could show her 40th birthday present quite easily. So that's my secret knitting. And I'll put some photographs. Let me tell you, I did the Cape Point hat using self-striping yarn with a color on a solid color or semi-solid on the bottom. Then the chevron was in the self-striping yarn, and then the solid color was on the top again. And I made one for the magic swap for the FO and dye group, and Dave was my partner. So they have got the swap, even though it's a bit earlier than the end date. I don't think they're showing everything yet. I'm going to show the hats I made so because otherwise I'm going to forget to put that in. And I also made one for my brother-in-law, and I'll put the pictures of the 2 next to each other. And then just as I'll put in a picture of what I put in the swap, it was a magic swap, and you needed to hand make something and theme it around a magic theme, and then put some extras into the value of £15, I think. So I didn't know what theme to do. Magic, it couldn't be dark magic. It had to be like nice, pretty magic. And then I didn't know how to do that.
For a boy.
For a boy, yeah. Because I mean, like, not a boy, a man. I mean, Dave is Ellie's husband on the FO and Dye podcast. And I didn't really know how to do pretty magic for a boy. So I asked the geek, thank goodness, the geek to the rescue. He said, why don't I do Gandalf the Grey? So that's what I did. So I themed the whole thing to Gandalf the Grey, and I printed out little labels of things that he said, and I got there's a picture of him standing almost by, I think, like the Hobbit's glade kind of thing. I mean, there's sort of green behind him. And so I got some green yarn to go with that, and it had a quote of, I don't know, as I put them in, and then there were things about time, and I made a time bag, very similar to the one I'm going to show you later for my November bag. So it was this fabric, only this was grey at the top here. So I made a grey one, and there's something where he has a quote about time. Every man must choose what to do with the time that he's given, or something like that. And there was something else about time, that a wizard is never late. Or early, he arrives exactly when he expects to, or something. So that was the time stitch mark, when he wants to, whatever. And those are the time stitch markers. And what else did I put in it? Some chocolates, and the hat, and the project bag, and the yarn. Oh, and my sister I didn't photograph it with it because I sent it straight to England, and she put it into the parcel, a little Lego Gandalf the Grey figurine to put in it.
There was
some sweeties.
What was the thing? There's a chicken.
Oh no, that wasn't for the magic swap though. That was just some extras that I sent.
Yeah, you sent a chicken.
I sent David chicken.
And Marmite.
And a Marmite candle. And some other Pac-Man mug and a Star Wars t-shirt. But they didn't go with my Gandalf theme, so they were just little extras to send to them. And then I sent each of the girls, his and Ellie's girls, a little
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. I could only think of Stinkerbell. A Stinkerbell project bag. Tinkerbell project. Look at the little one, just a mini project bag. And inside we put some things from Africa. We also put little beaded animals.
And stickies.
Stickies, yes, we put some stickies in, which was a huge craze in South Africa from our local supermarket. And we put in some.
We could have.
I made elephants. I made little knitted baby elephants. and some South African chocolates and a fridge magnets and various things like that. So you will have seen the pictures. I will have put those all in. So that's what I've been busy knitting that I haven't been able to show you. There was also, you knitted a washcloth to go to Amelia. We made a parcel for of stuff to go to Amelia. And the little bluebird of happiness that I showed last time on the episode with my mom was actually for Amelia. So she didn't know that, but that was the first thing. Amelia has been amazingly encouraging of Rachel and her spinning. She bought her or sent from America a spindle for Rachel with some fiber. And for her birthday, she bought her the Respect the Spindle course, which you need to do a review of. Do you want to do it this time or next time?
Next time.
Next time.
There's not enough time.
So what you need to do is then you have to say the name of the course and who the person was that did it, and then what you liked about it, and what you learned, how much it is, where you can get it, all of that kind of thing, and then like how you would review it, what you learned, and if it's a good course for people to get and stuff like that. A good practice for you to do a review. I'll help you next time. But she did really enjoy it, and it actually did make a big difference to her spinning. So thank you very much, Amelia. And you liked it, didn't you?
Yes.
Generally, you did really like it, and she wants to watch it again. So it's been very, very beneficial, yes. Hasn't it? So anyway, so Amelia has been so encouraging of Rachel's spinning that it's not the first thing she ever spun, but it was the first thing I have knitted with her handspun. Her other handspun she's saving to get it to make a hat for herself. Or I think, am I knitting the hats?
Yes.
Is the idea that you spin and I knit?
Yes.
Yes, so that was the other little thing we made that actually went into those parcels. So we're quite looking forward to Caleb coming home and bringing all sorts of things. There were some other parcels we put together and yes, sent Caleb, as well.
Better bring them.
Better bring all the stuff back. So those were some of the things that we've been working on. The only other finished objects I have that I can show you, the other things I'm working on of finished objects have moved on to my Advent parcel for Sally. Early on in the year, I can't remember exactly when, but it was quite early in the year, Sally and I decided to do 25 Advent days of Christmas. It's not really a swap, it's just two free. I mean, it's just the two of us giving to each other. So we're doing the 25 Christmas presents, basically. So we're doing the 24 days of Advent and then a Christmas present. So a lot of the stuff I'm working on at the moment is for her. There are knitted things.
One that I'm going to steal.
Ah, the one I'm missing, it's come out really nicely. It's not even really my colours, and I
would wear it.
I know, I would actually wear it too. I think I'm gonna have to make it myself. Anyway, so a lot of the knitting I'm doing is actually for Sally. So hopefully I can show you. There's one that I'll put like in an insert again and then put it when I can show it. But what I can show is ta-da! Halloween socks. 1 and Halloween sock 2.
Mom's Halloween night was sitting knitting those.
Yes. I finished these at 8 o'clock on Halloween night, which was, what night was it? Friday night? Saturday night? Saturday night. Which is, like I said on my Instagram, I had 4 hours to go. Like this was the last minute. There's plenty of time. Like if it was 12 or 11:59, then you could say it was last minute. Sally says it keeps getting closer and closer to the end. Last time I had 2 days.
Once
I've never finished it. Close. Was it? I've never gone over time. And I have done, how many pairs have I done? So I've done up to
10.
October. So that's the 10 pairs. And then I did one for Papa's birthday. And I did one for Claire. So that's 11, 12. Did I do any other extras yet? Oh, and I did 2 pairs where I did the white sandy beaches that 1 month as well.
You did 2 pairs?
So I did my July socks and those that month. So that was 13 socks so far.
And 14,
and
15.
Then 14, 15 will be the socks I have to do. And then I wanted to do Papa's socks. I can't remember if I showed this yarn actually. This was from Gina, and I asked her to do it in the Geeks kind of colours. You know, blues, greys, you know, the boring kind of colours.
If Papa's watching, go away.
And so these will be his Christmas socks. These are self-striping, and this is on Gina's sock base. I think she didn't put a label, but I think it's an 80-20 merino nylon. And yeah, as I said, these will be the Geeks Christmas socks. What did I want to say about these?
I've got Christmas socks.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean already knitted ones? Sorry, dog interruption. What were you saying about Christmas socks?
I have them.
Socks you want to make for Christmas, or yarn that you want to use, or what?
That I have already got.
Oh, what have you got?
My orange socks. They have to be finished by.
Oh, I see.
I said that they had a deadline, and their deadline is to be finished by Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is for the geek. Oh, I know what I wanted to say about this. This is from Gina Natural Yarns, is her website, but her own yarn dyeing label or name that she uses is Stellar Fiberworks. So a very nice color from her for the geek, so that's really nice. So that's what I'm going to be knitting. So that would have been, how many did we work out? I was on 13,
14.
14. Would that make 15 then? So there's 10 that I've done for every month of the year so far. And then Claire's one, Papa's one, the extra makes 13. And then if I knit 14, 15 with the two colors, and that would be 16. I'm going to have well done my 15 socks for the year. 16 socks for the year.
Then you have to do 17 next year.
Well, no, because next year is 2016,
yeah,
so I can still do 16.
Have to do 17.
No,
you have to do 18.
No, I'm not.
To do.
No, I actually want to knit. I actually was thinking of knitting less socks next year and focusing on some garments.
Please make some shawls. You haven't made shawls in a while.
I know I haven't. I was actually thinking of maybe only knitting 6 socks. 6 months of, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So that's what I finished. My 2 Halloween socks. Not anything different to normal. Rounded toe, 64 stitches, fish lips kiss heel, twisted rib on the end. Done.
You need to make some shawls.
Well, I don't have. I've got a lot of shawls. That's why I don't make them. I was thinking about doing an episode showing all the different shawls that I've got because a lot of them I knitted before our podcast. Oh, you've got some fluff on you. Right. So let's move on to. There are some workmen outside or something, and the dogs are just wanting to bark, and so we're having to stop every now and again. Come, sit down. Sit down. Anyway, let's see if we can get on. Works in progress. And so I can only show you one, because the other one is for sale. And I haven't cast on my November socks yet. So the one I'm working on, oh, that's coming up the wrong color.
No.
It is not orange.
No, it's like watermelon
pinky watermelon-y color.
It's watermelon pink.
And it's not much further than when I put it on Instagram. It is a, I don't know if you can see it here. It is a eyelet rib. You know, I think I'm actually showing you the wrong side. Not that it really matters. I've done it specifically because I don't want to have a wrong side or right side. So it's like an eyelet rib, and this is bamboo. This really is not the right color at all.
That's
but it's from yeah, it's from one of a kind yarns, and it is 100% bamboo double knit. So it's goodness, it was better there. Is the color better here?
No. So try one of almost that
it's,
color.
Orangey red colors don't come out very well.
It's that
anyway,
color there.
So this is for Titus's teacher, and what I'm knitting is one of these cowls where you make. So if you knitted it, this has got no wrong side. So if you just want to knit it like this, in a tube, and there's a provisional cast on, and then join the two ends together, and then wear it you could, because there would be no wrong side to it. But if you did want to, and I love wearing this one, I wear it so much. Yes. This is from my book. It's called No, I actually like the one with the fabric the most. This is called the Full Strace pattern in my book, and it's a standard pattern on Ravelry as well. And what it is on the one side, it is a feather and fan pattern to look like a full strace feather, which is an ostrich. Full strace is an ostrich in Afrikaans. So it's the sort of grey for the ostrich feathers, and the feather and fan pattern. And then the inside is lined with t-shirting material, but it's with a slightly stretchy t-shirting material. One, so that it can stretch a little bit with the bamboo, but two, to give it a bit of structure so it doesn't stretch out too much. And then the two are sewn together and then worn. And what's nice about it is that because it's bamboo and cotton, it's not, so like today is about 20 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. But it's not a boiling hot day at all. It's just pleasant. But I really like it because it's not hot against your neck. You can make it tighter if you want, and then it could be more like a warm thing. You could line it with fleece if you wanted to, for it to be, extra warm. But Tiger's teacher wears a lot of scarves and decorative things around her neck. Even in the summer, she uses like the pashminas and the cotton scarves, and she wears a lot of sort of scarves. So I'm going to get this. And I actually thought to try to get something with either sort of lightly, but like a scarf with little birds or a pattern or little flowers or something. So the material inside was actually had a pattern. I'm not sure what I'm going to find in the fabric shop, so I'm going to go and have a look. So this is going to be also a double layer material and knitted cowl type of thing, but the pattern will be that it could stand alone, and you could just sew the two ends together from your provisional cast off at the end, and you could wear it like that with no wrong side. It would be easy enough if you didn't sew or didn't want to add material, that you could just.
What's in the rib?
It's just an eyelet rib, which means you make little holes in the. It's just a little eyelet. It's very simple.
Is this a pattern you're making?
Yeah. Very simple, basic eyelet rib.
So I could do it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm making at the moment. That's all I can show you. Because over there on the couch is the really nice thing, and I can't show it to you. But I will at some point. I know it's frustrating hearing about things that you can't see.
Sally hates it.
I know.
And she's the one who's getting it, so she's going to be even more.
But that's the way it is. I can't. It just mustn't look like I'm so slack that I'm not knitting anything else. And I haven't cast on our November socks yet. I showed the bag. So the November month's theme is summer. And so I made a really grey bag. No, I had this fabric that Gina actually gave me that Sally really loves, this time fabric. And I hadn't used it yet this year. And so it was kind of time for summer. But yeah, both of us really wanted the fabric more than we mattered that it fitted in with the theme. Anyway, so that was the bag that I made for us this month. And then the yarn is also by Gina, the same as this. I got it ordered at the same time. And I said to her it was summer and that she must use her own, whatever she felt like making. And so this is the yarn. And apparently the inspiration is from a beach towel, a summer beach towel. So that's quite cool. So it's kind of reddy pinks and purples and blues.
And maroon.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that knits up because it's a self-striping as well. So these will be for November, and this I also need to knit for Emma for Christmas. So 3 more pairs of socks, and I'm done for the year of socks. I think I've done well. Yeah, more socks than I've ever knitted in any other year.
Yeah, this year was more.
My year of socks.
This year was your year of socks. Next year can be like your year of.
I want to do some sweaters. I really, really want to get some sweaters and jerseys done. What are you working on?
Have you got anything else to say? I've got to finish this quiz.
I've got nothing else to show.
Okay, I'll just show this. My blanket. I have added new squares right around. I am adding one on at the moment. Okay, blanket. Getting bigger.
How much? You haven't added that much on it, too, at the moment.
Yeah, I'm adding my second one on. The one I added, but I figured I will show you, is there.
And that finished a row over there.
And this end was the end I started on, and I have not done anything, so I decided I want to work on this end now.
Okay.
So here's the square. This is from the yarn that I did my socks in.
Oh, that's quite cool. Your
And there was quite a bit left over, so we have a lot of squares in this.
Oh, okay.
And it makes quite cool squares because they're all different things. So
that's your crochet project. What are you knitting on? You've got more projects than me, I think, that you can show.
I don't have half of them here because I haven't knitted all of them.
You've been knitting on your socks. So, you found an old long needle bag of mine that I had all my straight needles in before I moved over to circulars.
A blanket did not fit in this bag.
It didn't fit in her bag anymore. So now she's got, I think there's a pocket in the front. So she's put this was from somewhere in England. What was that big craft shop? Was it Hobbycraft? What's the
Hobby X?
No, Hobby X is the exhibition here. Expo they do. I think it's called Hobbycraft.
Nothing's in there yet.
I think she's going to put some.
Oh, and for your book.
Yeah, I do want to put yeah, so that's where she's grabbed my old needle bag and she's using it, but it all fits in there, so it's quite nice. It's got cats on. And what else are you working on?
This I've knit quite a lot on. My hat.
Oh, your licorice hat.
It's a bit,
Yes.
pattern's a bit crumpled.
And so we gave away our 3 patterns to say sorry for not finishing our knit, share, love, knit along.
You have to do your short.
I know, but I need to finish my present knitting first. This is the licorice hat. So it's kind of like a slouchy hat with some in bulky yarn with some yarn overs in it. Here's a good picture. And this is by Claire Devine, and it's part of her licorice collection.
Tea collection.
Of course, tea collection. It's the licorice hat. I don't want to give it away, but what I really like is Claire's chart. I'm not going to show it. It's so simple. It's such a simple chart that it would be really nice to teach Rachel chart reading doing this pattern. So she read her first chart.
I've done my whole repeat once, and then I have my second.
You're going to have to hold it still so the camera
I have to do my second one.
focuses.
I'm halfway through my second one, and then I have my third one. This is
So she's got
going to be really slouchy.
slouchy. You can see there are the little yarn overs.
The yarn is so soft it sort of unravels from the ball.
It's a very soft, squishy yarn. Yeah. This is the no, I didn't bring the book with me. Oh, it's on the table. It's the
Can I have my pattern?
Cascade, I think.
I
Through something.
I need you to help me with it again because I am sort of
Cascade yarns. In the 50% llama, 50% wool.
I must put that. Can I? You take it out. Can you take all my things out of your things? I can put it into my new bag.
Well, you didn't have a book when I started
do
that,
have
but if you've got one, then we can put it in there.
Because I have a book now.
And your socks?
Oh, that's all.
Which you were on earlier?
And my spinning.
And your spinning, you've got lots.
Yes, and a few things in my cupboard.
Well, let's not worry about the things in the cupboard today.
No, I haven't knitted on them, so.
This is the birthday yarn.
Yeah, the birthday.
From Electric
It's
Carnation.
just a nice.
And it's in a twinkle, silver twinkle base.
Mhm.
Hey? Yeah.
And which is the side that I'm going to have on the front of this side because it has the most stripes. There we go.
Very nice. Well
So
done.
I'm just I don't
Just
know,
before colour bit, yeah, you can't see it. Like.
on my hand there. Oh, let's put the pink in there. I'm just about to go on to a colour book.
And what else have you got? I don't have anything easy to knit. I haven't cast on socks yet. Earlier I was trying to talk and think and knit and it wasn't working very well.
So you mean you're knitting on that? You've
So I'm
started
knitting on your socks, yeah.
for spinning, which I am nearly finished the braid. Here's the little last bit of the braid, and here's the length of what it was.
And so let's show your spinning there.
I have forgot what it is, so I'm going to fetch my
It's
book.
called, and I know what it is.
You know
It is
what
by Countess Blaze, and it is called Geeks Like Rainbows Too.
Did you show her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you've been working on.
I've been madly trying to finish it.
And why? Okay, we need to get you more spindles because why she needs to get that finished, that braid finished, is because we need her to spin something for presents. Hey, we've got a braid marked out that she needs to spin so that I can knit.
Yeah. And my other spindle, I've got stuff which Titus asked me to help him. So
Yeah. So
it's just some of my beginning fibre which I'm helping him
yeah.
play with.
So we need to get you another spindle so that if you need to spin 2 different things,
Mm.
that's going to take quite a while. So you're going to spin one braid and then take it off and
I'm
then
going to, because
spin something else and then have another.
you need me to spin.
Yes, for our swap part as well. It's for we're doing the South African swap, Christmas swap, and we wanted to knit some things from spinning for your partner and mine.
Yeah.
So we need Rachel to do the spinning for that.
I'm hot.
Because everything else she spun is going to
Either my one hat or the other.
is going on hats. Hey, I wanted to see what else we wanted to say. I think that's all. That's all we've knitted. That's all we've done. We spoke a lot about being disorganized, which is very evident from our podcast. Sometimes I don't have show notes at all, but I do try to have something. We kind of make it up as we go along. So,
Yeah.
yes. Tell me if you're disorganized. And now, after I finish this, I'm going to record the little segment to put in when I am able to show you of what else I made for Sally. So, secret. Have a great week, everybody. Next time we will have so much stuff to show you because Caleb will be back with all the stuff I've ordered from England. Again, a lot of it is for Sally, so I still can't show you everything that's going to come back next week. But there are some things that were for us.
Yeah.
And some things are for some people for Christmas, so those will also not be able to be shown yet.
Even things from Black.
Huh?
Other things that you can't show for Christmas.
Oh yes, I'm not going to show your Christmas presents to you on the podcast, am I? Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.